I was just going to say, if you're recording, if you can, anyone else who's doing this. Do you want to introduce what this meeting is about, Shannon? From LACC perspective?
Maybe Tiffany and Sally actually have a better explanation of the project, and maybe we start there.
All right. So, we had a recent change to our contract, something that we both are excited about and support, which basically is requiring our faculty to have some sort of implicit bias, anti-racism type of training every 3 years. So Sally and I have been tapped to start this off in terms of creating content and creating a training that faculty can use if they choose to do so to fulfill this requirement, which they will be required to do every 3 years. And so Sally and I have been working on the content, and now we're figuring out the actual practical application, how we're going to provide this to faculty. And I think that's where Kelly comes in.
Yeah, so Tiffany and Sally had built it in Canvas and have modified some existing content they had, and we're building it in Canvas. And then we realized it's going to be a lot easier to implement and roll out if we load the content into the Vision Resource Center. But we haven't done that before. We're not experts in it. So we've tapped Kelly, who has done this before, to show us how that would work and what that would look like. And I think we're going to be using Camtasia to do that. So that's where we are today.
Trying to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
Yay, so, the expert help of Shannon and Kelly. We appreciate this.
I'm like, caution on the expert. But I have some experience I'm happy to share. And I think, I'm hopeful that as you kind of walk through maybe the process that we've taken, my guess is you're going to make it even better. And I look forward to learning from you all on your creation as well, because I think this is definitely something that we can help each other out on. But since I have gone through some of the troubleshooting and the process of it, I'm happy to share that with you. I'm going to put a link in the chat, and this is to a document that I just put together the last half hour before meeting with you all. So it should give you some background into the steps that we take and some helpful links. But again, I don't take this as this is the one way to do this. It's just going to walk you through the structure that we utilized at Palomar. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and I'll kind of walk through this with you. And I'll show you examples as we go through. And again, I mean, for this, stop anytime, ask questions anytime, and hopefully I can kind of help to show you what we ended up doing. I do want to say, for about, I hate to admit this, but it probably was 2 years where I had been intermittently spending hours of time reviewing different e-learning creation tools. I couldn't decide which one to use. I tested out a bunch of them, did way too many free trials, read way too many articles, and in the end, realized that Camtasia can actually do it. And Camtasia is a tool that I was already familiar with. I do a lot of video editing, video creating for my class. And although I use iMovie predominantly, iMovie, Camtasia, Adobe Premiere, they all work in a really similar way. So even though I use iMovie a lot, jumping into Camtasia felt really familiar. So it already felt like a platform that I understood how to use. So it was kind of one of those reasons also why I chose to use it. So it really allows you to do that whole video creation part of it, along with gives you the capability to add captions in the program and gives you the ability to add those interactive questions, which is what we really want to do, right? So and side note, I'm so excited that LACCD has added to their contract the implicit bias, the DEI training. That's something Palomar's looking forward to doing as well. So there's another thing that I got to learn from you all, and I'm excited to share it with my team, and hopefully we'll have the same requirement. So we ended up using Camtasia because, again, it was just a little bit more familiar to us and gives us that ability to create an e-learning module that requires participants to learn and then interact with that learning. So where we can create that video, give them some content, and splice in a question that they have to respond to. So, I believe that's a better way of learning than having them watch a video and then take a quiz, because we know a whole bunch of people turn on a video and they check out. When you have interactive questions, the video pauses. So they really have to interact with content as they go through it. So using a file like this, or a SCORM file, in terms of Cornerstone, the benefit is that although it takes time in the creation at the beginning, once you get that course created and you test it and it works, it pretty much automatically runs for you. So when a user launches it, they go through that training. When they're done answering all the questions, it sends that completion data right back to Cornerstone and says they're done. So there's not a lot of oversight that happens once it's created and launched to your users. Whereas if you did do this in Canvas, Canvas is an instructor-led platform pretty much, right? You could always just do quiz questions, but you'd still have to figure out how to compare like your full list of faculty to the faculty who enrolled in the course, to the faculty who completed the course. So there's several steps, which for some purposes is really important. I think I had shared with you before, we did our online teacher training courses in Canvas. We're leaving it there purposely because we want our faculty to take the Canvas class and interact as a student. But that course has an instructor on it who's grading, and modeling effective grading practices. So there's purpose in leaving it in Canvas. Something like this, that purpose really isn't there anymore. The purpose is more, we want them to learn the content. We want them to answer some questions and get through it. Okay, so that's kind of the background of a little bit of why we're here today and why I chose Camtasia. So I'm going to walk you through the steps that we took at Palomar. Again, these are, this isn't the be all end all way of doing things, but after a few tests and processes, we've done this a couple times now, my colleague and I, this is what has worked well for us. So hopefully it'll work well for you, or maybe you'll find a better process that you can share back with us, which would be awesome. So the first step that we take is developing the content. And so it sounds like, Sally and Tiffany, you two have already created, mapped out a lot of that content, that curriculum that you're going to be including in your DEI focused workshop for your faculty. So what we do is we use a collaborative PowerPoint. So we use a PowerPoint that we can collaborate and share. So we use it through 365 so that we can share it with each other, so that we can be typing into the same thing. We develop the content that way. And within that PowerPoint, we also write the narration or the script. So I'm going to share what one of them looks like so you have an idea. So this one I'm sharing is a training that we put together that covers the basics of what Ed Code is, Title V, board policies, and administrative procedures. So we realized that's an area that confuses a lot of people. So we went ahead and developed a training for that. So my colleague and I worked together on creating this PowerPoint where we walk through what Ed Code is. And if anybody wants this, I'm happy to share this with you if you want to create something like this for your campus. I can't use the same one because we use Palomar a lot.
I have a question. So on each slide, the little audio icon means that there's audio, and then the text that we see down in the presenter notes below the slide is what we would hear if we clicked on the audio.
Exactly. Okay. Yep. So there's a couple ways that you can add audio to PowerPoint. And that's where you can just record the whole show as one audio file, or you can do it to where you attach the audio to each slide. We did it both ways. And what I found is that attaching the audio per slide is way better structure, because the second step in this process is to send this PowerPoint to several people to get feedback, which is really important, because essentially you want this file. So this PowerPoint and this audio, you want it to be as close to perfect as possible before you take the next step of using Camtasia. So when we're done with this part where we've added our audio, we add question slides in here, We send this to several different people on campus to get viewpoints from several different people to get that feedback and make sure that it works well for them. So exactly what you see here, we start by developing the slides and writing the narration. So on every slide, you're going to see exactly what we plan to say. This is important for two reasons. One, when you write your narration, your recording sounds way better and it goes way smoother. So you're going to eliminate a lot of your ums and ahs and hums and retakes. So without narration, I'll retake something like 5, 6, 7 times before I feel like I got it right. When I have narration, I can record it in one shot. So write your narration here. And the second important reason for including your narration is that you then have accurate captions. So it really helps you to caption if you're actually using a script. So the first step is to create the slides, create the narration. Then we go back in and we add the audio. Something to be mindful of. Do you all use 365 on your campus?
Yes.
Yeah. So PowerPoint online on the cloud in 365 doesn't have all the features that your desktop version has. So keep that in mind for one really specific point, which is adding audio. So if you use PowerPoint online, you don't have that ability to insert the audio clips. You have to download it out into your desktop in order to add those. So there's a couple weird things moving between the cloud version and your desktop version. But it still wasn't a problem for us. We just said, okay, you go and add your audio and then I can add my audio. So we put this whole thing together. So slides, narration, record the audio. So which is very easy to do. You just go to insert and then audio, record audio. So pretty simple to do. And you'll notice we also add our question slides. So we put these in directly into our presentation. This ensures, what I like about doing it this way is that I really plan out the entire lesson, if you will, within PowerPoint. I'm really using Camtasia just to add the interactive function. This ensures also that when I send it out for review, the people who review it get to see the questions also, because they've caught a couple of those where they're like, that question was really confusing. I would change the wording. So we can get feedback on that. It also makes sure that I actually read the question and read the question answers within my video. So you'll notice I kind of come in here, add those questions. So once we do that and we feel like this is good to go, it's as final as it's going to be right now, the second step we do is to send this PowerPoint out, as I said, to several people for review. So I want to get their feedback on it. And I typically, what I ask them to do is take notes and attach those notes to slide numbers. So if you have feedback on slide 1, tell me what that is. Slide 2, tell me what that is, in order for me to be able to make those suggested changes. I would say some overall feedback as we've gone through is our first one of this was way longer. So some general feedback is when you're making e-learning courses, you want to be as direct and succinct as possible. So try not to be overly wordy, try to be really direct. That was just kind of general feedback that we've gotten over the time, which has helped us to kind of shrink back on our overly descriptive nature. Both my colleague and I like to write a lot. So we've learned that. So once you get this, send it out. So that's kind of step 2, is that you would send the file out to a few people, make sure you get feedback from them on any changes that need to be made. As I was saying before, you really want to make sure that that PowerPoint is essentially, your final version ready to go when you take that next step to creating it into an e-learning module. If you have to go back, it adds several more steps. So you really just want to try to make sure that that is as perfect as possible. So the next step, so you get the feedback, you make the changes, it's ready to go. Then you're ready to open up Camtasia and load that file into Camtasia and do the finalizing steps to turn it into a SCORM file for Cornerstone. So the first thing that you need to do is you need to export your PowerPoint as a video file. So when you export as a video file, and I've added a link right here that will take you to the instructions from PowerPoint that tells you how to do this. You just need to make sure that you're exporting it as a video or as an MP4 file, and that you tell the system to include your audio or your narration. Where is that? Right here. So use recorded timings and narrations. One caveat on that, a couple times when I've done it, it hasn't caught all of my narration. And I haven't figured out why, if it's like a glitch in my PowerPoint. What I had to do was go in and just make sure that the slideshow transitions were set to the same amount of time as my audio. So it took me a couple minutes to kind of go through, but by doing that, I had fixed that issue. It doesn't note the issue here in the help guide. You know, it tells you that it should just do it. Hopefully for you, it does. For me, it didn't. And so I had to take a couple minutes and just update my slide transitions to make sure they were the same length as my audio. And then it worked fine. So it'll export as an MP4 file, so a video file, and that's the file that you bring into Camtasia. So let me open up Camtasia over here. Give me just a moment. So I've created just kind of a quick test file in Camtasia just to give you an idea of what it looks like. So this was just a test course that I did. And I do recommend that you open up, you know, do a really quick, like 1 minute, 2 minutes, real quick training that you can use as a test file to go through all of this. I would do that before you use your actual content as a test file. I think you'll be less stressed if you kind of take a moment to kind of go through the steps with something that you really don't care about too much. So this was just a quick recording I did. So what you do is you just bring in that audio file. So in Camtasia, what you're seeing here is you essentially have in the upper left corner, this is your media bin. This is all the media you plan to bring into your presentation. So if you were doing several videos that you were bringing, that you wanted to splice together, then I would see all those videos right here. Or if you have some images you want to bring in, you know, any type of media, because what Camtasia does is it's just a video editor, right? So it's just going to bring them all together where you can then add titles and transitions and music and do all these fun things with it. So whatever you plan to add to your video would be in this media bin. So you can upload to this, you can drag and drop directly into your media bin. I'm pretty sure you can drag and drop. Sorry, I use iMovie a lot, so I have to go back and forth between the two functionalities of both. So what you see here is your media bin, and what you see in the middle is what you've created. You create down here in your timeline. So whatever you decide to put in, like if you have several different media clips here, you just drag them in right here, and then this is your creation timeline. So for this one, for example, you know, I just did this.
This is a test video, test Camtasia. Do a quick tour of the 3PD portal and the Vision Resource Center.
So that was the quick video I had done. Once you bring everything in, so what I would do is I would find the slides that had the questions on them. So whatever those slides are, I would go to exactly where they are in the timeline. So let's just say this was where a question was in that presentation. And then I want to add an interaction. So I'm adding it. Oh, where's my interaction button? Sorry, looking around. Oh, not track. Hold on, let me go back. Do you guys see interactions? Why am I missing this? Oh, well, you know what we're going to do, because this is what I have to do over and over again as well. Let's come back over here and go to the help guide. So interactivity tab. Oh, I didn't click the more button in the right place. So let's come back over here. So you know you can follow these along too. I linked it for you. So if I come back over here, I just needed to click the more, not the plus. So once you get to more, then I just come in here and I just click on interactivity. And when you say add quiz to timeline, and over here, then it's going to gives me all my quiz creation stuff that I need to put in it. So here's my quiz question. So default question text. So what is my question that I want to put in? Like, do you understand this? I can decide whether it's multiple choice, fill in, true, false. So I have not tested short answer yet. I probably should. I think it'd be interesting. Of course, that would be difficult to do a right wrong, right? So it'd just be a short answer as you participated in it, because you want this to self-grade. So if I choose multiple choice, then I can put my answer text in down here. Or I could do, you know, true, false. Here I can also display feedback. So if there's feedback I want to put in, you can put feedback in as well. When I was testing this, I just went through and just added all the different questions in because I wanted to see the difference. On some, I added display feedback. On others, I didn't. I did that in my test ones so that I could really get a sense of what it looks like to a user if I display feedback or I don't display feedback, if I use true, false, or multiple choice, you know, what does this actually look like? So I definitely suggest doing that kind of test one at first right now with stuff you don't really care about. Come into Camtasia, add a bunch of different questions, and really get a better sense of what the experience is like for your user. But it is truly as easy as that. And you can add another question. So if you have multiple questions that you want to ask at the same point in the timeline, you can add multiples right there. Or you can add another question down the timeline. When you are done with this, actually, let me back up, because one of the things you're going to want to do in here as well is add your captions. Let me take you back over to the help guide that I created for you. So you're going to want to add captions, and you can add captions in Camtasia. So you can do that before or after you add your interactivity. I have it in here as doing it before. Captions work differently whether you're on the Mac version or the Windows version of Camtasia. So what I have come to learn is that the Windows version has been around for a really long time. So it was originally a Windows program. The Mac version is more recent. It doesn't have all of the capability of the Windows function, but they're adding more and more of the capabilities all the time. Oh, cute puppy, Tiffany. So I'm using the Mac version. It still works. It takes a couple more steps in terms of captions. So there's two ways of adding captions in Camtasia, and one is that you can type them directly into the system, which you probably don't want to do, especially if you already wrote the narration out in your PowerPoint and you already have it ready to go. If you're on the Windows version, you can actually copy and paste that narration in, and it will set the timings. If you're used to using YouTube, it works similar to YouTube. And actually, using YouTube is my workaround on the Mac version. So what I do is I actually take that MP4 file, I upload it to YouTube, and I use YouTube to add the captions. Because in YouTube, I can copy and paste my whole script into YouTube, and then I tell YouTube to assign the timings. And YouTube will do that for me. And then in YouTube, I can export what's called a VTT file. And a VTT file is a transcript file. So I load it to YouTube, tell YouTube to do it, and then I come back to it in a little bit. And from YouTube, I can download the VTT file. I can upload the VTT file into Camtasia. The VTT file, what makes it different than a narration script is it has all the timings. So so once it's loaded into Camtasia, Camtasia knows exactly when to post each of those captions.
I have a
Sally,
question.
you had a question?
So Zoom also makes captions. Can you use the Zoom captioning because it generates the VTT file as well? Or is that?
Yes. As long as it generates the VTT file. I haven't downloaded a VTT file from Zoom. So I'd have to download. So you could use Zoom if you wanted to use Zoom to record.
Okay.
You can't upload a video to Zoom. So you would have to actually be using Zoom to record your video or your session. But yeah, that would work too.
So that would be another step if you use Zoom. So never mind.
Yeah. I mean, it could work if you were doing, if part of the training was maybe you leading a PowerPoint and you want your video on there and you want to be more interactive, you could use Zoom to do, record a meeting of one. Absolutely. And then, yeah, then you could edit, you'd want to edit your captions in Zoom before you download the VTT file. So you'd want to do that. What I like about using YouTube is that I can actually copy my narration that also has punctuation in it, because auto generated captions don't have punctuation most of the time, or if they do, it's inaccurate. So you can copy your narration, paste it into YouTube, tell it to set the timings, and then pull that VTT file and upload that. If you have the Windows version, Camtasia says, if I scroll down on this help page, it talks about, or hold on, I think I'm on the wrong one. Let me grab this page. Talks about how users interact with captions, but then down here, it talks about how to add captions, and it shows you the manually adding captions where you can type them in that we don't really want to do. And then captions from a script. Again, that's Windows only. So essentially it takes that step that I'm using YouTube for, or you can load that caption file. Let's see. So once you have the captions in, you have your questions added, then you're going to export the file as a SCORM file. Oh, sorry, my dogs are barking. So let me come back over here to Camtasia. So when you're ready to export, you just click this green button that says export. Are you guys able to see the pop-up? Looks like it's kind of out of range. Yeah. Okay. So you're going to choose local file because you're saving this file to your computer. When you choose local file, you're seeing this pop up as well. Awesome. Then you're going to see, it's going to say, so it pops up automatically as a movie, MP4. Then you can tell it what kind of caption style you want. So I like to do the burned in captions. That means captions are there for everyone, no matter what.
I don't think we see that pop up.
Oh, you don't? Okay, let me change my screen share. I was, sometimes Zoom captures your pop-ups and sometimes it doesn't. So let me, I'm just going to share my whole desktop.
See the file options though, that was there.
Okay. Well, you get to see the whole desktop now. Okay. So with this, so you're seeing the pop-up now. So this is the export. So again, you can change to either closed captions, under video captions, burned in captions. So you have those three options. And then you'll see it says include quiz. You want to make sure that's checked. And then you have to check the box that says include SCORM. Once you check that box, then you can check the options. So you have lots of different options in terms of that SCORM file. These ones you may want to play around with a little bit. I did some testing back and forth on these, but a couple things to be mindful of. You can put the title and the description in. It lets you change the version of SCORM. So I've just been using 1.2. I still haven't tested 2004, but I plan to. So the big difference between 1.2 and 2004 in the way that it's supposed to work, and again, I haven't tested it yet, is that 2004 SCORM file types should allow you to pull the responses in a report in Cornerstone. So Cornerstone, so 2004 works a little bit different than 1.2. 1.2 will track completions, but 1.2 files aren't created, as far as I am aware, and again, I'm not super expert, it won't tell you which questions they got right and wrong. You can get that data from in another route, but the system itself won't. In Cornerstone, you can pull a 2004 file that should tell you what questions they got right and wrong. So, and again, I have not tested 04. I will try to do that this week and see if I can pull that report in Cornerstone and test it for you.
Can we go to the
is
caption?
the standard.
Sorry, the caption options before this, the closed caption, burned in captions. Is there a suggestion on which of those, or are they all kind of the same?
So yeah, let me switch back. So, oh, well, actually, my desktop, so you're seeing the help guide. So on the help guide, where I link to captions, so right here, this link on this guide takes you to the captions page. It explains the difference between how closed captions, burned in captions, and under video captions work.
And it does say ADA compliant on the.
Yep, all of them are ADA compliant.
Cool.
So yeah, I've been choosing burned in captions, but I could be convinced either way.
Looks
I
like
know, I think maybe under video captions might be even better. I didn't realize it popped up the video captions under the video, which I think would be nice. That way it wouldn't go over your content. I probably should have chose that. See, we're always learning.
Is that something you can edit even once you've created the file? You can open it back up in Camtasia and just click and change it, or do you have to
recreate it? You'd have to, then you export a new file. Yeah, so it changes absolutely. I could go back and do that. I would then, this course is already in Cornerstone, so I'd have to reversion the course to upload the new file, but I could totally change it, which I might
but you don't have to recreate it in Camtasia. At least you could just sort of go back in and reversion and
setting.
Upload the new file. Okay,
exactly. It just changes the export. So because those are just options in your export file. It's basically telling the file how to behave. So as you scroll down, so you have the version. So I've been using 1.2. I will test 04. And then you see these settings right here are where it can get a little bit interesting in terms of, what is your passing score? What is your view percentage required? So what I have found is that on one of them, I had set it to 100%, 100%. That's a little bit challenging, right? Because not everybody is going to answer all your questions right. And if they do, fast forward through any of it at all. So I've decided to actually reduce those because I want this to complete. I want credit for the time spent. So I've still been kind of messing around with these. For our latest ones, actually dropped the viewing down to like 50%, I want to say. And even the answering questions, we did like 50%. We figured if somebody is not completing because they don't pass these things, we should have a conversation with them anyway. But hopefully we would catch anybody that had, mistakenly answered something wrong. But I definitely still want to spend a little bit more time kind of testing this scale and getting a better handle on it. So I'll continue that testing as well. And I'd love to hear kind of, if you do some testing on this, what you find as well.
For our project, we have like an 80 or 85% completion barrier. So this is where we would put that.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep. So it literally will not complete unless they've hit 80%. Yep. So if you set that at your 80% mark. And then you just say produce zip file. So the zip file is what you load to Cornerstone. Zip files, hopefully, are you familiar with them? So it comes in a folder, it's packaged, you load that whole thing. You don't want to unzip them before you take it into Cornerstone. So I added some pictures right here to kind of jog your memory about where to find that export. I just submitted some feedback to Camtasia actually, because I couldn't find any help page that explains these settings. So hopefully they'll add something that explains, unless I'm totally looking in the wrong place. I couldn't figure out where they kind of had these explanations. So I put some screenshots in here as just a reminder. So once you get that file done, what you want to do is load that to your pilot or stage environment. So you should have access to both of those environments of Cornerstone. Those are basically our sandbox or our playground. Load it there, test it there. And when you're testing it, it's really valuable to test a lot of different scenarios. So, you want to test things like get halfway through and leave. And then, leave Cornerstone altogether, come back in and relaunch it and make sure it bookmarks. It absolutely should bookmark. I haven't had any problems with that. Then you want to, test what happens if you complete the whole thing. Did the auto completion track back to Cornerstone? The only time I've had a challenge with that is when my settings were at 100%, and I was messing around with stuff. So test those kind of different and keep notes of which test course you have which settings in. So I didn't take notes on that either and kept having to go back and remind myself, oh, wait, what did I set that one up? So you might even want to rename them. Like, here's a test course where passing is 80% and viewing is 80% or something, so that you kind of just have a better grasp of the difference that you're testing. That's something I wish I would have done. It would have caused me less confusion. You want to test what happens if people answer a bunch wrong. Did it complete? What happens if they fast forward through things? So just test a bunch of different user behaviors. And then once you have tested it and you feel like it's ready to go, then you just take that file, that final file, and you load it to your production portal. Test it one more time there, and then you should be good to go.
And I think we should do, and I know we kind of texted about this, Kelly, a separate training about like the loading and assignment and all that stuff. We can tackle that separately. I know Sally, because she's also a PD coordinator, knows a little bit more about Cornerstone behind the scenes probably than Tiffany has had experience with. So we can kind of tackle that maybe in a separate thing, because this probably gives them enough to run with in the meantime.
Yeah, I mean, so then once it's in Cornerstone, you just want to click on the details of, you use the content uploader to load it. So I put some of the instructions right here in terms of how to go to load that online course. So you load it as the content uploader. Once you do that, it'll be in your catalog. When you click on it, you'll be able to see the details of it. And you'll want to go in there and just check the details. Like, is the title what you want it to look like to users? You'll want to make sure that the duration is set appropriately to however long your training is, so that your users in Cornerstone see that time and get credit for that time. And then once it's loaded and it's good to go, then use the learning assignment tool to assign it. And I think, yeah, that would probably be kind of more of a separate lesson of just how to assign using the learning assignment tool. It's fairly easy to use. Hopefully you have some background on it, but you can essentially set up learning assignments in two broad ways, whether it's a standard assignment or a dynamic assignment. So a standard assignment is, basically, I want to assign all like this training to this specific set of people right now. It runs one time, processes, and it's done. That's a standard assignment. But you can also load dynamic learning assignments. And dynamic learning assignments is what you'd want to use. I know you guys have this requirement every 3 years. So this would assign that training every 3 years to that person, whether it's every 3 years on a specific date, or maybe it's every 3 years based on their date of completion. You can decide that as well, of when it would be assigned. So you could set up that as a dynamic assignment so that it continues to assign. And so if you decide to make changes to this training, which you might, right? So you might, in a year from now, more information comes out, or 2 years from now, you would just go in, just reversion the course that's in there to the newer version. It won't impact the learning assignment, still continue to assign whatever that course is in whatever version it's set up.
That's exciting.
Yeah. I just
sounds like lots of steps, but doable.
Yeah, there's definitely steps to take, but it's not very overwhelming. The content, I think, is the hardest part. And then from there, it's just technical work. One thing that we did do in our most recent one, I forgot to add into these notes, I'll add it, is that once we participated in a few of these, we realized a little bit more how they work in Cornerstone. So my colleague added a little video, a snippet video in Camtasia. That was just like you are about to take an interactive online course. Here's the settings that you have control over. Like, you can speed up the voice, to 2 times, which is nice. So you can do these. Notice that you're going to have a button in the upper right-hand corner where that you can click on to complete video. So I can't remember exactly what he put on that. I'd have to go back and look at it. But I would just suggest that as you start testing these out and you get a little bit more familiar with the user experience, you may want to add like a little video blurb at the beginning of the training that just gives a really quick, here's how this course works. Here's what you can expect. That way it's just less questions to answer.
Just like we do in a Canvas class. We always have here's how this class works part. I have a
Exactly.
question. If we want to have them go elsewhere and watch a video, an external video, is that a slide in the PowerPoint? Or is that something separate?
If you want them to go, so you want them to leave the training, go watch a video and come back.
Mm-hmm.
If I were doing that, let me think about that one. Because
maybe this is a chance to talk about, Kelly, the difference between like one module in a lesson and then an entire curriculum.
Yeah. So
right?
What I was just thinking
like,
is
this is just one piece, and then maybe show what a curriculum would look like.
When we go into a module, maybe there'll be one of these things we just talked about. That's a SCORM file. That's a video from start to finish with questions.
Yeah. So what I would suggest
somewhere in there. So maybe we would have 2 PowerPoints, one kind of introducing and whatever material, then a separate video, then a follow-up in the questions, or
that's exactly what I was going to suggest. So if there's multiple pieces like that, what you'll likely want to do is get all those pieces together and all of them loaded to Cornerstone. So, that first one would be your SCORM file loaded, you load as an online course. That video you would load to Cornerstone as a video learning object. So it's actually part of Cornerstone. And then that way they also get credit for watching that, for the time it takes to watch it. And then if you had another online course, you'd load that. And then what you would do is you would package those 3 things together into a curriculum in Cornerstone. And then you're assigning the curriculum. So the experience the faculty member will get, let me show you what.
This also allows them to, say, here's an article to read and here's this. Not everything has to be an interactive module.
Exactly.
Because you're doing it as a curriculum. And what's cool too about that, Sally and Tiffany, as you think about it, you might even have like a curriculum. I don't know if this makes sense, but like you might have an adjunct curriculum, and then you might have a full-time curriculum. And maybe this doesn't pertain to this one, but you only upload the parts all separately one time, and you just assign them in different.
And then you go find them and put them together in the bigger organization.
Yep. So like this is a giant curriculum that you're seeing right now. Sorry.
Each one of the things on the left breaks out into all these different things.
Exactly. So like here's, so this is a curriculum that has, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different sections. They call them sections in Cornerstone. So each of the sections has multiple learning objects in it. So this one's on the Brown Act and parliamentary procedure. This one right here is a link to a website. So it's a document that's hosted on the CCLC website. These are all videos that I loaded from YouTube. So Cornerstone has a YouTube player. So you just grab the YouTube link and you add it as a video learning object. And then I just added it to the curriculum. Community college programs, these are all online courses that were created by the foundation. So this was them doing, a similar process to what I walked through with you, although they're all instructional designers and are highly skilled. So, they're using other programs, but it's the same thing. They upload that SCORM file and make it available to us. Like Palomar programs, this is the online course that we created on EdCode. This is a link to our websites where our BPs and APs are, institutional research and planning, our pathway mapper tool. So we want them to look at that. Diversity, equity, inclusion. So this is all online courses again, and then a link to our website on anti-racism framework. So the curriculum just allows you to take those different pieces like you were just talking about and then build them into one learning experience. So, this curriculum is really long, right? And I don't even know how many learning objects I actually have in this whole thing. But can you imagine if I was trying to assign each one of those to my trustees? They'd probably lose it. Instead, they get one training assigned to them. So this is one training, this excellence in trusteeship, and it just includes all of these different trainings in it.
So here's where you have like an intro in terms of, I mean, you can see the details here, but you do have a, like, this is what you're supposed to do when you come in here kind of thing.
Exactly. And you can add notes in here as well. I don't think we put any in this one. But yes, when you create the curriculum in Cornerstone, this is just the description that we added to it.
But I think it's helpful to think about this, like Sally and Tiffany, you don't have to create every single thing that's in your Canvas into an entire SCORM file. You know, some things can be created as a document, some things can be, you know, kick it out to a video. Not every single thing has to be SCORM, because that would be, I know you have a really robust program that could be a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Which content? Go ahead.
I was gonna say, it seems like the SCORM file. I've been saying SCORM since I heard that word. Also, I just say it, SCORM. But it seems like that is really that's more like information based, right? In terms of the information that we're relaying to them, and then anything that we had like videos or things like that gets kind of pulled out, or articles or whatever that gets pulled out. As these separate other little sections that are part of these larger sections.
Yeah, think of SCORM as content plus knowledge check.
Right.
Which is nice, right? That's why when I met with you the other day and we were talking about trying to think, I was trying to relate it to Canvas, because I know it seems you have more experience using Canvas, and it's the same thing that I was saying that Canvas Studio and PlayPosit do for you in Canvas. They make it to where you don't just post a video and say, students watch this, and how many of them actually do. Instead, you say, watch this and interact with it at the same time. It's a very different experience. They really have to open it, and they have to at least pay attention enough to know when a question pops up and answer it before the video will continue going.
So Canvas Brain, we've been putting everything on pages, and then like, here's a link to an article, here's a link. Whereas this, we've got to think a little differently about what's going to package as interactive information, and where are those links going to go. And then, yeah, so it's just a slightly different organization of the content.
Yeah,
we need to figure out, which I'm excited. This sounds totally doable. We'll see about
the
YouTube.
Curriculum's nice because it's broken out too, so they can, like my trustees can come in and do a couple and leave. It's separate activities, which I think is helpful as well. And then the other thing to think about in the curriculum is that you can set up a curriculum to where they can pick and choose, what order and how they want to complete. So like this one that you're seeing right now for my trustees, they can go into any of these sections and take any of the training in any order. We don't have it set up in a linear fashion. What you all are doing sounds to me like it really is a structured lesson. You can set up the curriculum where you tell Cornerstone that like they have to complete the guide to Ralph M. Brown Act before they can launch Robert's Rules episode 12. They have to complete that before they launch Mastering the Three Important Motions, things like that. So you can set up the curriculum in Cornerstone to require a linear progression of learning. So keep that in mind as well in terms of the creation of the curriculum.
Good to know. It's kind of like Canvas pages, mark complete, that kind of thing.
Absolutely. Exactly. Yep. It's like the prerequisites in Canvas. Yeah. Any other questions?
Not until we start digging in.
Exactly. Yeah. Thank you for this document in particular. I appreciate you going through it and giving us the examples, but it's so nice to have this, to be able to have this handy while we're doing it as well.
Yeah, and feel free, this is shared where you can leave comments. So, if you're stuck on something or you find a better way to do something, or you've solved one of my problems, feel free to leave comments in here. Or if you have a question, leave a comment in here. I'll get a notification so I can respond right then. But, hopefully I'm hopeful if you all kind of walk along this process as well. I think with your brains, my brain, the rest of anybody else who tries this, we could probably really help to flush this out and make it, you know, even more doable for everybody.
Good, thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
We'll be the test pilots.
Cool. Yeah, we've tested. I'm definitely not an expert, so you know, it's not my full-time job is not an instructional designer or e-learning creator, but you know, I like testing things out. So I can tell you it works. It took a little trial and error for us. And so I definitely would say create a really like basic video right now, practice adding the captions, the interactive questions, load it to Pilot and just play around. I wish I would have done that at first. My test was one we created. And then I realized it would have been a lot better if I just had, you know, not put a whole lot of effort into the content, just created something and just got more comfortable with the technical pieces of it. So that when I was ready to do one that was important, I felt a little more prepared.
Good idea.
Cool.
So Shannon,
That's awesome.
We still have a pilot site because I haven't been in there in God knows how long.
I haven't been in there in God knows how long too, but yes, we do have one. I'll have to figure out how to get back into it, but we'll jump off that bridge when we come to it. I think if you two just focus on the content and the review and then generating the SCORM files, I'll meanwhile be working on understanding with Kelly, and hopefully we can set up another time to record how we do the uploads and the assignments, because I know a lot of people are looking at trying to do it for Keenan and lots of other trainings. And so I think that's a whole other like level, you know, next step of this that we want to help other people understand as well. So, but I'll worry about that for now. You just worry about content.
Okay. And organization.
Okay.
Cool. And then Shannon is recording in the admin community. That'll be fantastic.
I'll do that in the document link as well.
Cool.
So thank you so much. This will be useful for so many people. So thank you all so much. And cool. We'll be in touch.
All right.
All right.
Good to see you all.